Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. I know music to many people's ears. Welcome to another Friday Stockpile chat. My name is Jan. I love to help people keep some more of their own hard earned money. And I'm from New York City. Yeah. Hope that everybody is doing well listening to this. I want to talk to you today about 8 wise or smart things to keep in your growing stockpile. And this is an item that many people forget to keep. Okay. So let's start with this as really as something that might as well pick up at the dollar store. These are the inexpensive, not to be confused with the fancy schmancy paper plates. These are the ones that, like, let's say, just put a piece of toast on or whatever. Because if the grid goes down, or if there's a power failure, or you can't wash dishes, or you're in a situation where you need to use a paper plate, keep them handy for those just in case moments. I think this is an item that's oftentimes overlooked. Just saying. All right. Next, I prefer canned tomato sauce. Okay. A lot of people like jarred sauce. That's totally fine. If that's your thing, you get a great price on it, for sure. Stock up on it. Canned tomato sauce for me is very convenient. I'm glass phobic. I've admitted it many times on prior videos, and it's just handy and very convenient to stock up. And canned items last quite a long time. I'm just saying. Now, if you happen to use it like a normal times, not when the grid is off or whatever, and you just need a little bit, that's not a big deal. That's not a problem. All you have to do is take the remainder of that sauce and put it in what? Put it in a resealable plastic container. You could either freeze it or you could keep it down in your refrigerator. So, therefore, I highly recommend canned tomato sauce. And sometimes you get a really, really good price on the completed spaghetti ones. You get the meat, you get those without meat, other flavors. Just take a careful look and see what your family really enjoys. Canned soups, okay? It's before you know it, it's going to be really, really cold. Canned soups come in handy, and there are days where you just don't have the time to make soup from scratch, or you're just under the weather. You really don't want to make soup from scratch. Although I do highly recommend, as part of your freezer stockpile, whenever you make scratch soup, to make some portioned out containers and put away and freeze for those times as part of your stockpile too. Your own homemade version of soup, which when you're not feeling well, nothing beats in my honest homemade. But for those in between times, certainly stock up on canned soup. Canned tomato soup is one of the best deals that you can get, because I have read many articles. There goes the bird clock naturally. I have read many articles where, because of certain vitamins that are inside of canned tomato soup specifically, it's very, very beneficial. This is according to the articles. So if you could grab those on sale, yeah, most definitely do that. Now, you know those Idahoan mashed potatoes. Now, I've mentioned them in the past. They come in a pouch. The flavors are already there. You don't even need butter. All you need is hot water. Now, let's say that you're in a time of crisis and the power is down, and at the very least, you have the capability of being able to heat up some water. Just pouring that with that mashed potato, voila, you have a filling, nutritious, get you through the day kind of something to eat. And it's delicious too. So that's really a good thing to keep on hand as your stockpile, and not needing the extra butter, the extra flavors. Think about that for a second. You don't have to spend extra money on that just for that. Okay. Speaking of potatoes, I mentioned this in the past. Canned potatoes. I like the dice one. And I recognize that you can make a really, really good homemade hash. Yeah, with your own meats that you have left over. For example, let's say you made a ham, right? And you cut them down into ham steaks. What you could do is cut up and cube that ham, add your onions or whatever, and also add your canned potatoes to that. Voila, you got yourself a lot of food there. So, in general, in life, whether you're using it under a stockpile situation or you're using it just because it's convenient, I really have learned to make new friends with canned potatoes. Just saying. And they're easy to eat. You just open it up and you can eat them right then and there, should you need to eat something you don't have a heating source, you would be just totally fine. Shelf stable milk, you can get that. It's delicious. I actually like shelf stable milk. Now, I'm not saying that everybody I know enjoys it, but I personally do. It keeps for a little bit of a while, a decent amount of time. Read the dates, of course. Stay on top of it. It's handy. The boxes line up nicely. And if you could get them on sale at the Dollar Tree, hey, my attitude is why not? Get some, stock up, and save. Canned meats of any kind, but the kind that you like. Don't be embarrassed if you say like, I enjoy canned meat or canned chicken or canned spam or whatever. Sometimes other people outside of your home are judgmental. Ooh, canned meat. Ooh, the heck with that. If you enjoy it, your family enjoys it, you could still get it at a decent price. You could just open it up. It's shelf stable. You could have a good source of protein right out your hands. So to me, this is an important item to keep if you eat things like that, canned meats. The pouches are convenient, like let's say pouches of chicken, pouches of tuna, but honestly, yes, they are convenient. Yes, they are very shelf stable. They last a couple of years if you read the date on the back. Perfect for like if you're having a car trip and you don't want to spend money outside or whatever, you have something there, a grab and go. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I think you get more dollar for dollar value from the canned meats. I believe you get more bang for your money on that. So definitely, take a minute to do a little bit of comparison pricing, but that's the route that I would definitely go. Now, does your family eat rice? If your family enjoys rice, rice lasts a long time. Okay. But you know what some people do? Or some people do with their rice? They put it, let's say, in their freezer for a little while to help, I'd say probably a couple days, I would imagine, to help decrease the risk of those, as they call them, cereal bugs, if you will, or those little, little things that could come up when you have certain things like the rice. It's not a bad idea to take a preventative action and put that in the freezer. On a slightly different note, I had this corn muffin mix of which my family and I had used generationally. I loved that corn muffin mix. It always tasted great, but I didn't have a great experience about a year and a half back. But that was on my failure to put that corn muffin mix in the freezer ahead of time. It does make a difference. Will I ever eat that product again? Of course. But this time around, before I store it, I'm going to make darn to ensure that I definitely put that item in my freezer at least for one day to help keep it stable. There you go. These are items that are very simple to get, but they're very, very helpful indeed. I hope you have a one upcoming weekend. And while you're at it, examine your own inventory. This is important. Where are you at with your stockpiling? Do you have holes in your stockpile? I've been using things that need to be replaced, and that's totally fine because a stockpile to me is an ever living, ever breathing thing, if you will. It's always ongoing. The flow ebbs and flows. Your stockpile, you should not compare it to someone else's. You may have started later than the person that's experienced at doing this for like 20 years. Okay. So there you go. Any one of us that tries harder to increase our stockpile of food and grocery and non food items, I commend us for trying. I really, really do. Why? Because that means we care enough about our families and ourselves to get the best possible prices, to have the most convenience, and to just be ready. Nothing wrong with that. All right, everybody, have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourselves and your wonderful family. But don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to this channel.